The sea air turned cold as autumn settled in across the island. Alice the Atlantic engine was getting along nicely with the others, all except Lily. The two would argue to no end. It wore all the other engines' tempers thin. Given that, they were all happy when a special came from the Fat Controller's Railway. Neil, the box tank engine, in a fresh gleaming coat of green paint, chuntered happily along. It was an overcast day, and Neil was telling stories to a group of enthusiasts. Once upon a time, me and my brothers ran this line. The villagers were nothing more than a few cobbled-together buildings. It bankrupted us to get the track built, but I can see the towns along it benefited. Stafford was as fascinated as anyone. Your stories are amazing, Neil. Why, thank you. I like to see that my friends like them too. The enthusiasts gathered around to take pictures. Neil glanced up at the stormy sky. Already a spattering of rain was beginning to fall. This dreary weather reminds me of a personal favorite story of mine. It happened in weather just like today. The enthusiasts and Stafford listened intently as Neil started his story. A November gale was gripping the island shortly after this line was built. The waves were battering the docks and no one dared the open line. Most ships had been able to take shelter before the storm hit, but the schooner's captain had dared to make it to the open sea before it set in. Everyone told him it was foolish, but he set off anyway. I was making my way back to the docks when I heard his frantic horn rip through the wind. His lights were barely visible through the dense fog. Suddenly there was an almighty crash through the howling. I came to a stop, paralyzed with fear, as I saw a fire burst into life along the shore. Whatever that little ship was carrying ripped her apart quick and took down all hands. The story often ends here, however, my brothers who ran the line after me dispute this. On many a stormy night they have claimed to see figures bright as flame crawl their way up the sands, reaching for safety, but dying out before making it to the grass. Neil finished ominously. The enthusiasts gazed at Neil in awe, but their reverence was short-lived. Well, what rubbish, Alice snapped. She had arrived during the story. Glowing ghosts crawling up a beach? What nonsense! You may sneer, Neil said calmly, but you'll never know if you're going to see them crawling towards you. Alice just huffed as Neil departed with his special. Stafford was indignant. You didn't have to be so rude. Neil's a very wise engine. Humph, he shouldn't be spewing such rubbish. You're rubbish. Stafford snapped and followed Neil out of the docks. Later that night, Alice was returning home with empty trucks. The storm had fully commenced and she was battered as she struggled down the line. The wind howled as Alice stopped to pin down her brakes at the middle station. I wish this fog would clear up. We must be careful in the mist, her driver warned her. Who knows what will be along the line side? Oh, don't tell me you're cracking up too, Alice snorted. I've known better men than you who've lost their minds in the fog. Alice just rolled her eyes as the train got underway. She had to squint to see anything, but the line was deserted. All the other engines were safe in the sheds. However, as Alice rounded the corner below the fishing village, she was blinded by blazing lights. She slowed down and squinted towards the coast. Masses lay along the beach, glowing through the fog as bright as the sun. To Alice, they seemed to be moving, inching their way up the sand. It's the glowing ghosts! Run! Alice tore up the line, shrieking through the fog. The next morning, the mist had largely dissipated and the rain had stemmed, and the other engines woke to find Alice missing. She should have been home by now, noted Whiff. Humph, good riddance, Lily grunted. I'm sure she's just laying low in the storm, consoled Aled Greedy. I sure hope you're right, Greedy, Stafford muttered. Soon, Whiff and Stafford departed for the docks. Everything was windswept and damp with rain. They found Alice sheltering in the goods shed. The poor engine looked exhausted. What have you been doing down here? Asked Whiff. Oh, good, it's you two. Stafford, I saw them. What? Them, she cried. They're just like how Neil described. Glowing things on the beach, moving. She was starting to panic. I heard, said Whiff cautiously, that they shut up flares late last night on the shores for a late fishing boat. Maybe that's what you saw. I swear that's not what I saw. They were moving. I'm not cracking up, Alice said insistently. It was a long night last night. You must have been tired. Yes, why don't you go for a rest? I can take your first train. You certainly look like you need it. Alice wanted to argue but was too tired. She slumped wearily up to the castle with one question on her mind. Had she seen the glowing specters crawling towards her, or was she losing her mind in the fog?